You look at the walk, people were there. People were watching the games. People were following. So there is a love for the game. I said it so many times. I do believe that. Achieve, you can do it. But again, we go back to that will, and to go back to also an institution. What are you doing for the grassroots? What are you doing in your local areas? I personally, and I said it so many times, do believe that this country can have an outstanding team. But it takes time, and you have to work at it. So got sent off, if I remember well. But, Romario does a piece of magic, gives it to Bebeto. Bebeto side foot it into the corner. That was a team that was fighting, very difficult to play against. I remember well. Yes, I know Brazil were down to 10 men. Doesn't matter. So you're going to need to have a host. If not, it's not the same vibe, it's not the same thing. And I couldn't really grasp how it was because we came back quickly. But it's the desire and I mean, what you're going to transmit and how you're going to transcend people. What you want to do. When I was young, Roland Garros is on, I'm outside playing tennis. Although in my neighborhood, what you do, you put some sand. Yes, you still need to have some type of dream and seeing a team that does well. It is a bit different. The US a bit stuttering a bit more. Canada, you thought they were on the way to do something.
Thierry Henry did not hold back as controversy erupted once again around Arsenal F.C. following a shocking VAR decision during their clash against Everton F.C. The former Arsenal striker and club icon openly criticised the officials after what many fans and pundits believe was a clear penalty denied to the Gunners, sparking outrage across the football world. The incident occurred during a tense moment in the match when an Arsenal attacker drove into the Everton penalty area and appeared to be clearly brought down by a defender. Replays showed significant contact, and the challenge looked reckless enough to warrant a spot kick. Arsenal players immediately appealed to the referee, confident the decision would be overturned by the video assistant referee system. Instead, to the disbelief of players, commentators, and supporters, VAR chose not to intervene. The decision stunned the Emirates crowd and sent shockwaves across social media within minutes. Fans flooded platforms with clips of the incident, pointing out the obvious contact and questioning how such a clear moment could be ignored in an era where technology is meant to eliminate major errors. Many supporters labelled the moment yet another example of Arsenal being on the wrong end of controversial officiating decisions. Speaking during the post-match analysis, Henry expressed his frustration with the handling of the situation. The legendary striker questioned the purpose of VAR if clear incidents like the one Arsenal experienced could simply be dismissed. He argued that the system was introduced to correct obvious mistakes, yet moments like this only deepen the sense of confusion around how decisions are being made. Henry pointed out that when slow-motion replays show undeniable contact inside the penalty area, the expectation is simple. The referee should be advised to review the incident on the monitor. According to him, fans are not demanding perfection from referees, but they do expect fairness and consistency. When obvious fouls go unpunished despite the presence of video review, it erodes trust in the system. The Arsenal legend also emphasised the emotional impact these moments have on players and supporters. In tight matches where margins are incredibly small, a single penalty decision can completely change the course of a game. Missing such a crucial call doesn't just affect the final result, it also damages the credibility of the officiating process. For Arsenal, the frustration felt even heavier given the context of the match. The Gunners were pushing hard for a breakthrough, applying pressure and creating chances as they tried to unlock Everton's defence. A penalty at that stage could have shifted the momentum dramatically and possibly changed the outcome of the match. Everton, meanwhile, survived the scare and continued battling to keep Arsenal at bay. While the Toffees focused on their defensive discipline, the controversy surrounding the penalty decision quickly became the dominant talking point after the final whistle. Pundits across television and online platforms joined the debate, with many agreeing that Arsenal had a legitimate grievance. Several former players noted that similar incidents have resulted in penalties in other matches, which only intensified the frustration among Arsenal supporters who feel their team has repeatedly suffered from questionable VAR calls. The controversy has once again reignited broader discussions about the effectiveness and transparency of VAR in modern football. While the technology was introduced to help referees avoid costly mistakes, critics argue that inconsistent application and unclear communication have instead created new layers of controversy. As debates continue, Arsenal fans are left wondering how such a critical decision could slip through the cracks. For Henry and many others watching, the situation represents more than just one missed penalty. It highlights the growing frustration surrounding the way VAR is being used in the game today. Whether the authorities will address the concerns raised after the match remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the uproar surrounding Arsenal's denied penalty against Everton is unlikely to fade anytime soon, and the calls for greater accountability in VAR decisions are only getting louder.